Nakamata. My name is Sage Blake. I'm a wanderer, storyteller, artist immature, and I've done a bit of grinding off screen as usual. In total, everything that I've milled up to this point includes, but isn't limited to, about 1,200 of the static cells, maybe a few hundred of phase matter, I believe it was. Yeah, phase matter, sorry. Forgot I wasn't there for a moment. I've milled about 4,000 units worth of ether dust and other powders along the way. Cooled volcanic rock, regular volcanic rock, ash of various types, and most importantly, geodes. That's gonna sound especially weird, but to put it into perspective, I have milled exactly, I think it was like 6,000 or 7,000 geodes, and there's a reason for this. That being, the drop table on geodes is especially ridiculous. Like, as in, yeah, it can drop some of the common ores of the game, like gold and titanium and whatnot, but on the higher end of the scale, you can get isogen, pyrite, and further, noxium. So, putting that into perspective, I've milled about 6,000 of them. I've gotten quite a few minerals and materials off of that. But there's something I do need to bring up. Why exactly, geodes? That's the pad receptor. This is what I wanted to show off. Everything you're seeing within this box right here came from not 6,000, but 3,000. Only 3,000. And I got all of that, plus these 4 ores at the bottom right here. That's a lot! That's a lot. That's all I'm gonna say in that respect. It's given me several bits of Quietus ore and everything else in between. So while I'm explaining a couple things, I'm just gonna pick these up, put them within the device, and also mention one more thing about geodes as well. Cracking open geodes using the rock crusher that I've got there not just gives these ores, but also something else as well. Samples. The samples are especially interesting, because, well, you could sell them, and you can make a pretty decent amount of money on that. To the point, by the way, that if I were to buy, let's say, and this is just to lowball everything, 1,000 geodes and no more. Assuming I would buy only 1,000, I would, on average, get enough samples together to buy another 500 on top of that. And for record, the amount of money that I'm spending for a full 1,000 stack, and unfortunately I can only buy a single stack of 1,000 at a time, is 60,000 pixels? It's a decent chunk of money, I'll say that much. But considering that I'm getting half of that back in just samples, and on top of that I'm getting endgame ores like noxium here, which I can immediately convert, I think that's kinda worth the price tag, all things considered. Especially since finding them on planets, yeah, it can yield more variably. I haven't had luck finding noxium in the past, so for right now at least, this is viable. And, if anything, lucrative. I still can't mill Noxium within the furnace, so I'm gonna have to use this thing. But to put this into perspective, 7 bars of Noxium for about 6,000 to 7,000 geodes. That's about 3 bits of Noxium a geode. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. Should probably drop those. Alright, I have 2 spare chunks that I could just leave in there temporarily. But yeah, all of this Noxium is going to be used sparingly. And by sparingly, I'm pretty sure that means we're just going to be using like half of it immediately, because I swear that this got a little cheaper. The Elder Altar. I could make this. The problem is, I need dark matter. To get dark matter... Well, for right now at least, the only way I can get it is to craft it. And that requires quite a few materials. Where is it in the list? Yeah, state phase gel, which I have plenty of. Mercury, easy to get. Morphite, easy to get. Shadow gas is my gate. But I found a solution. While I was faffing about milling materials and whatnot, I decided to take a look at some of the various things that could be dissected in order to give us shadow gas. Among which include, I believe it was shadow soil, shadow brick, but easier to obtain than those is a plant, actually. One specific plant, and it won't take much to get it, too. The anema flower. Getting anema flowers is going to take some time, though. The egg shoots are relatively easy, I have those just lying about. And actually, everything else I have in plentiful stock, too. The problem is the yellow petals, and I'm essentially waiting on flowers for that. It's a slow process, and I'm only getting little bits at a time. Well, I'm at it, actually. I might as well just have all the materials for that on standby, right? Heck, bee flower. I feel like that is useful for like honeybees, but I'm not meddling with bees for right now. So let's see, I need egg shoot. 4 core fragments, 4 strange nodules. Actually, can I craft egg shoot? Two egg and a living root. But even then, I think I just have that lying around somewhere. If not, won't take too much effort to plant. Or, you know, get the items I need together to make them. So, 4 core fragments. And in retrospect, I think I've been milling those every time I get them. Gah! So that means we just go back up to the ship. Actually, I think I might have egg shoot back at the ship too, so yay. Alright, since deuterium's in heavy stock, I've been milling some deuterium just to see if I can get tritium and whatnot. Also gets carbon, so yay. Also liquid deuterium. Actually, that won't take long. So 2, 1, and mill those. To get some uranium. Then I could just mill the carbon. There we go. And the lines of the furnace is clogged. Great. So what exactly got in here that couldn't be milled? Keynet, for whatever reason. Okay. I'll deal with that. Actually, I think some of the ores that I'm plugging in there will actually get me core fragments. So if I wanted, I probably could just wait around. And even then, I also have lava. So in the worst case scenario, that doesn't get me any core fragments whatsoever, just mill the lava noodle. And there we go, 4 core fragments. Research mill is done, so I'm gonna need to plug something else into that. Only question is, what? Because if I remember correctly, bones didn't really give a good exchange rate. Phosphorus, if I remember, is like an exchange rate of 3 to 2. Oh, sorry, 4 to 2, I believe. Salt. That actually has a decent exchange rate. Made a few more brushes, just in case, too. And other than that, I haven't really done all that much else. So, time to see if I have egg shoot back at the ship. Worst case scenario, I do need to restock my chickens' feed, so I could just drop by base 1 and help feed them. I've been negligent on that, and that kind of depresses me. Gotta take care of the little babies. No, you stay put on this ship, please. Don't want to lose you. I'm also gonna need to consider maybe hiring a second crew member. Not exactly sure which one to hire, though. Actually, technically, like a third crew member since Party Rocker's here. But anyway. Get together some corn. And I need one more egg. There we are. So that'll take care of that. Actually, no way, I only have one egg. Ah, scheiße. So I'm probably gonna need to wait on these guys now. Lovely. Other than that, I still need living root, and I think I can also get that around here too. Just need to go out and shank something. Not only you guys, but you could still die too. Your meat. And leather. You guys. Because that I've heard at least, the bigger of you can actually has a chance to drop living root. So that means wanted murder. Mark you. I'm just having no luck getting living root. Oh, never mind, I did get one, and I just wasn't paying attention. I did have a lot of living root at one point, but I made band-aids. So yeah, made more of these band-aids, and more specifically, we're also up about 100 some odd medkit 4s. You can see them in here. Actually, 150. Those use up the nanosilk band-aids and also living root. You die. There we are. Oh, for the love of it. That's what you get. Alright, since we have a whole bunch of research, might as well spend it. If the game will let me. And if I remember correctly... Yeah, you can kind of see the messages down here. A couple things have been added to certain nodes. Those being a couple of recipes for an upgraded Urkies buddy, apparently. Let's see if I can't find that quick. Engineering. Oh, right, I still need to do computer stuff. Yeah, as you can tell, I, did a decent amount of grinding research. 32,000 now, and that's only gonna buy me, like, what, 2 nodes? Then again, I forced myself into it, because I pigeoned my... Yeah. I pigeoned my whole self. I pigeoned my whole... What? Some days I don't even know what I'm talking about. Right, so Durasteel. And that requires Morphite and Advanced Plastics, so I'm gonna need to get to work on that as my priority, because having an Immunity 2 chip might actually be a good idea. I hope those guys have eaten. Doesn't seem like they've eaten yet. Never mind. We're good. So now we should be able to make egg shoots. Then I think that's almost all, if not all, the materials I need for the flower. Such, I am gonna have to let that mill for a bit, and then grind up its petals, if I remember correctly, in order to get the shadow gas I want. So while that's happening, I'll probably, like, gallivant off to another planet, or what have you. I just realized there's a machine on the left side, so I didn't really need to do this. Oh well. There we are. Egg shoot. Yep, 4 strange nodules, and it's just the yellow petals. Such, we've got plenty of strange nodules now, since we have the things to mill for that. Foresight! It's almost like I knew this was gonna happen. Except I didn't. It was just a happy coincidence. Alright, and yellow petals, we need like 35 of them, so almost there. In that case, let's just head to the science outpost, get another 1,000 geodes, and mill that. I mean, hey, if it gives me Noxium, and at that, I also need to sell the samples, get my money back, and properly demonstrate what I mean by buy 2, get 1 free. There we are. Doesn't really matter where you sell them, if I remember correctly, just provided you do sell them. So yeah, watch that number skyrocket back up. This is all I collected from 3 stacks of geodes. 1 stack of 1,000 geodes is about 60,000 pixels. That means I've paid about 180,000 pixels for all the minerals that you saw at the beginning, and then some. Selling back all the samples, I'm making a little less than 90,000 back. And just like that, I can buy another 1,500 geodes on top of that. only gonna buy 500, because even then, buying the amount I do buy, like the full 1,000, it lags the Alembic and at that, the game by a good, like, 8 seconds every time I buy. Case in point. But we've got what we need. And now we could just port back to base 3 and mill that. I do essentially need to do some culling in order to make sure everything that gets milled from all the geodes gets collected back. Because, again, the drop table is gargantuan. Drop this in there. It'll do its work. Actually, in the meantime, I can also set this to mill. I think that's about it for now. Because at this rate, I'm just waiting on petals. While I'm at it, plonk that down there. Apparently I have some copper to mill, so I might as well do that quick. I also gotta shove some stick into my face. Hold on. There we are. Alright, it doesn't mill amber chunks. Doy. Not exactly 2 copper. There we go. That'll finish up shortly. I can take the carbon and the ash for right now. I can feed the carbon back into the machine. Still thinking about it, maybe I should make some more, Actually, no, wait. Couldn't I still buy the lattices? I don't remember. It's not like carbon's that hard to get anyway, so I can mill it once I find it. There we are. We can go down, collect some more ash, mill that back. And there we are. Yep, it's already started to overfill. And there we are. Yet more mineral. Hell, that's even enough for another Nook suit. Pick up you. Take that back, because it doesn't mill here. There we are. Alright, the ash. And there we go. Now I'll turn back into other useful mineral. Get a bit more research together. Also gonna need to think about something else to put in here at some point. I'm not sure if I can mill silicon. It can, at a rate of 3 to 2. But the silicon is more valuable to make into boards and whatnot. So maybe I shouldn't do that. Oh well. Another pedal or two. So I think that'll put me at like 30, 31? Yep, 31. Actually, 36! There we go. So now we've got enough for the anema flowers. And now it's just going to be a matter of growing these. That'll take its time. And in the meantime, we could take care of other things. I don't really have anything else I want to draw about. Dang. Actually, no, that's partially a lie. Should probably drop some crystal and whatnot. Because at this point, they're just sitting in my inventory and not really doing anything. At least fill up a few more slots I could use for other items. Alright, I think there was a shadow planet on this galaxy. There's a strange sea in Eden. Guess not. That sucks. But I do think there was a shadow planet nearby. That's midnight, that's different. A couple of unknowns at Tarball. And a chromatic planet. Tempting. There we are, shadow planet, and a lightless. So just gonna set that. Refuel. There's the lightless and Nightmare Tropus. Dark Arc. Extreme. Such variability here. There's tier 1 feeling ships. Oh, but I guess that's excusable considering they're actually inviting us. Let's go here. Because, again, Shadow Worlds have, well, the dirt that can be milled, if I remember correctly. Really, I could just find Zithrosite on that ether. And Lozombrium, technically. Didn't mean to zoom out. I was trying to investigate one of the two planets here. Alright, this one's our shadow planet, right? Potentially lethal. Yeah, and all we can get is Quietus here, not even Noxium. Great. And apparently, there are a couple of camps around. Dust storms. Midnight, Geode, and Tar. Some shadow planet. Right, and while we're down there, I'm gonna need to eat up some flowers. At least I hope I have some of those flowers on me. Yep, I do. Good. Confine that to a hotbar.